week 12, bitches. That was probably not the way to start it, but I don't care. But it took 12 weeks, but the giant has finally fallen. Giant in stature and giant on the fantasy football realm. All it took was just the bipocalypse. It only took, the Bengals to not be playing for a guaranteed 50 points for Andy, but we finally got him to lose, and he happened to put up one of the worst.
He didn't just lose.
He had the worst,
He lost.
So to give our listeners an idea, Andy put up 111. So the worst performing team in the league this week, who lost to Kyle, go Kyle, he put up the most points this week at 195. Good. So when Sleeper gives out that weekly review, it was the largest margin of victory this week.
85 points. So, as we were discussing, I believe, in the group chat, this just goes to show you that it's not, and everybody's going to speak volumes. Oh, Joe Burrow is amazing, and Jamar Chase, and they are. Don't get me wrong, they are. Andy also lost his backup quarterback and had to start Tommy DeVito. Yeah. That being said,
Andy chose to start.
That is true. That is true. That is true. Because he could have gotten anybody else.
No, he went through a waiver wire
Bryce Young was out there. Yeah, there was other proven people. Yeah, but Tommy better than Tommy DeVito right now. But goes to show you.
Start.
I don't know if that would have been better though. Russell Wilson didn't have any touchdowns, so.
But there were so many other quarterbacks available.
Oh, absolutely.
Aaron Rodgers is available.
He has no depth.
Now. I think Kyle dropped him.
Just dropped him, on Sunday.
Did you just drop him?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Andy has no depth now anymore. He just lost J.K. Dobbins. We were just talking about this. He traded Kamara away, lost J.K. Dobbins, possibly due to an injury. Who knows what's going on there? He's got nobody else to fill in besides Pacheco. Yeah. I mean, he's got Pacheco coming back, so he's got to fill in right there. But, I mean, he's one more injury away from being beatable every week.
Well,
because he doesn't have the depth.
He's beatable if the Bengals have a bad week. That makes him susceptible to a loss. That's really the whole argument, really. Because, the week I played him, it came down to, it was a very close margin of victory for him because he beat me with, less than 3 points, I think it was.
And it was only 166 to 168 or something like that, if I remember correctly, too.
But that was the thing. I got lucky because my team actually performed for, I don't know, the third time this year. But it was, the Bengals didn't light the sky on fire like they normally do. That's the thing. If you're wanting to take down the number one team, whose roster actually mimics or has the majority of their players from one fucking roster, you have to just rely on that team to have a bad week, and then you actually have a chance to beat them. The problem is that the fucking Bengals have been lighting the goddamn fantasy world on fire for the majority of the season, and that's why he's just kicking ass all year. So,
yeah,
maybe we'll get lucky.
Because if you look at their NFL record, they really have been lighting it up. I mean, I think they're now kind of getting to that point. I think they're leading their division now.
No,
at least
Bengals?
No, they're third, buddy. Third.
Oh, I have not been paying attention then.
No, they're really bad.
Trust, you see these? I am paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't result in NFL league wide success, but it's fantasy. They're putting up empty
From a
points.
Fantasy perspective, they are like we were talking about. They're almost a guaranteed 50 points for Andy recently.
Basically, yeah.
So,
and it showed. Andy usually averages 160 to 180, and had he had those two, he would have boosted that score by another 50 points, and he'd been right in his average, 160 to 180.
I'll have to try to see if I can find that. But yeah, I mean, it took the crazy bye, but we finally got it, and Kyle's team went nuts. I mean, what helped was Jaden Daniels having a rushing touchdown. And that huge Terry McLaurin touchdown.
And him finally starting Jaden Daniels.
Look, honestly, he could have started anybody. And he
True.
probably would have beat Andy this week. Like, he could have taken the biggest shot in the dark, starting whoever he wanted in a roster spot. I mean, an 80-point margin, you literally have no room for error there.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at his other players he had in there. Josh Jacobs going off for 31 and a half.
That helps.
Jahmyr Gibbs putting up 24 and a half. Jordan Addison having an amazing game at 25. I mean, Kyle put in the right team. I think the misses he had, were... I'm trying to remember.
They weren't a lot.
It wasn't a lot. I think he said he had a 98% efficiency.
Yeah, he only could have scored, I think, like 201. He scored 198, so...
Yeah, and I think it was somewhere on his defense where he could have switched someone in.
Yeah,
dude.
It's usually where it's at.
So, congrats to Kyle. He is the Buffalo Bills. So, knocking out the undefeated team. Thank you for doing that. And
Much
I think our
appreciated.
playoff race is starting to get a little... It's anyone's game right now. I was talking about it in our group chat, but we have 3 teams at 6-6, 4 teams at 5-7, meaning 7 teams that could make the playoffs in a week. Mm-hmm. It is that close. We have one solidified at the top, one's more or less technically not solidified even at the bottom. Because another point to bring up, we can jump into our playoff race here in a little bit.
I mean, I'm definitely not in the playoff race, but yeah.
Is this a win streak we're seeing for Kamish right now?
2 straight.
I'd say a win streak is probably like 3. 2 is like whatever.
Hey, look at the balloons.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Don't know how that happened.
I have no clue.
I'm not putting up that garbage. No, I got whatever. Blake joked about benching his players because he wanted me to win and Joe to lose. And it's a little suspicious that he said that, and then all of a sudden, I actually get my 3rd win of the year. That's not a Scotty win. So, I mean, I will claim a little bit of shenanigans on it after I do some research. But, I mean, I think he actually did try, so it's not his fault. But
yeah, Kyler Murray only got him 4 points, so that really hurt him.
yeah.
I mean, talk about a boring game, though.
Well, yeah.
Please don't get me started on that, because I watched it from start to finish. 14 rushing plays, that's all you're going to do the entire game. In 60 minutes, you're only going to rush the ball 14 fucking times with a cow of a running back that you have. He rushed it for 8 total yards on the fucking day. 8 yards. How is that even fucking possible, man? This is so... I was so embarrassed, and I don't root for the Cardinals that often. I am a huge James Connors fan. I have a Cardinals jersey because of James Conner. I'm a huge James Connors fan. So obviously I root for them when they're not facing the Steelers because I want James Conner to do good. On the plus side, wide receiver number 1, Trey McBride.
Tight end, dude.
I know he's a tight end.
Exactly.
I know he's a tight end. Most targets, most catches, most yards in the game. I mean, I think when Kyler Murray had 100 passing yards, Trey McBride was at 79 receiving yards. So that shows you who he favored that day. But I had Trey McBride, and if they're not going to get James Conner the ball, I'll take some T. McBee points all day long. Just get him a touchdown, please.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get those fucking targets because Marvin Harrison's not going to get them. So
he had a couple at the beginning of the game. I saw only the first half, and
whatever.
Goodness gracious!
I have no hope for him until next year when he actually attends a practice, and I'm going to change his fucking nickname to Dropsy McFucking No Practice.
Dropsy McFucking No Practice.
I'll throw out the fucking the fucking doesn't need to be in there, but Dropsy McNo Practice is a pretty decent name for that idiot because he doesn't.
That is a pretty good one. Speaking of tight ends and Trey McBride, he has moved up into the 3rd overall tight end. in our scoring.
Is
And
Kittle number 2?
Kittle is to number 2
Oh, okay.
with
Brock Bowers number 1, yeah.
coming in number
Yeah.
1.
I'm never gonna.
That doesn't surprise.
I'm never gonna live down not drafting Brock Bowers.
Do we? Well, let's. be
Andy
honest.
mentioned it this week, by the way.
What, that I didn't draft him?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause
And I
he
looked
loves
at
the-
him and I said, a lot of people should have taken him.
but in actuality, on that day, do you take Marvin Harrison, a generational talent that has every projection says he's going to be the next Marvin Harrison Sr., or do you take Brock Bowers? At
No,
tight
you
end?
take Marvin Harrison.
It's not the 1.1 that I was talking about. I had a 1.7 where I could have taken him.
Yeah, because he
That's-
went in round 2, I think.
Did
No, he
end up
went in the
round-
first round.
Oh, but like
He went,
1.9.
He might have went 1.8 like right after me.
Oh,
So,
I
but
think you're right.
But it was either 1 or 2 picks right after I took Caleb Williams. So I took him just because I wanted the future quarterback, and
which
signs
then
are getting
that
better
also-
for him. Hey,
I mean, just in general, when you do redrafts, you don't take tight ends right away unless you know it's going to be big points, like Travis Kelce was the past 4 or 5 years, except this year. But funny enough, Travis Kelce has moved up into 4th.
Yeah,
I mean,
because he had those 3 straight games. Sorry.
no, that's
No,
fine.
you're good.
I mean, just
But, yeah, he has moved up into 4th.
the state of tight ends is an embarrassing fucking like beyond like the top 5 or 4. Honestly, I don't even want to say 5.
I
The
was-
top
I wouldn't even say
4
that.
are
I would
like
say
the
3.
guys that are worth a shit. But
I think
beyond
what
those
it-
guys, like
I would
who
say top
cares?
3.
I think what it's showing though is we're moving away from the old guard of quarterback style of play, where they trusted their tight end and their running backs more with the ball. I don't see that anymore. Like a lot of the games, and we were talking about this at Zips, and Scott can attest to how frustrated I was because Joe Mixon's lack of performance as well. In a game where he should have, I mean, none of my 3 running backs I started put up anywhere close to 10 points. Just the productivity when we used to see those slants from the tight end right over the middle and they dump it, or a wheel route from the running back. Hey, I've got no look. Let me look left or right and dump it real quick. We're not seeing those as much anymore. Like these quarterbacks are instantly being taught, look for your deep ball. If it's not there, look for the slant. If it's not there, scramble like a maniac. I mean, all these young quarterbacks that are coming in, once that pocket collapses, like they're not even looking to complete a pass anymore. I feel like they're just scrambling for their life.
I mean,
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean that's what I'm starting to see more and more. Because they used to do those dump passes to the left to James Conner, and he'd take it for 12, 15 yards. They weren't even doing that in the game. Or Joe Mixon. I mean, it's just, and I know that obviously this is 1 week, but it's a consistent thing, even with the Cardinals with James Conner. He's not getting those receptions like he used to get.
It's because there really aren't any catches to get in just the offense. But like you're complaining about Joe Mixon like a week after he had 3 touchdowns against the Cowboys, though. So you can shut the fuck up, okay?
But against the Titans,
against the Titans, he
The
should.
Titans
Against
have a
the
good run
Titans.
defense. The Titans have had a good run defense forever, since before Vrabel was the fucking coach, dude. Like,
yeah.
it's just the way it is.
But a goose egg like that, man, it's just,
That sucks. And then next week he'll have over 100 yards and like 2 touchdowns. So there you go.
I'm going to need it. I'm facing Andy next week, so.
Good luck.
Well,
I just want you to lose in 2 weeks.
I will tell you right now, this is going
You're mixing
back
up
to
bye
last
when
week's.
I play you, motherfucker.
I know. This is going back to what we were discussing last week's podcast with Blake when he talked about where I would be sitting in the playoffs. Here's where I downfall, and I'm gonna end up in 5th or 6th fucking place because again, I faced Scotty. That was a tough loss, but we'll talk about that later. I faced Andy the Giant this week, just coming off of a loss, but he's getting his 2-star players back, so not looking good for me. I I just hope that I don't start a losing trend and lose to Justin because I really want to see one of these back there on that wall.
It's going to have diarrhea stains on it, I promise.
I mean, the Andy Giant this week is going to be tough, but what will help you is Dobbins is probably not going to be playing next week.
He's getting Pacheco back. I don't understand how you guys think it's going to help me.
Pacheco and what's nuts Hunt are going to be splitting.
Yeah.
carries.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to be a split carry,
It's
but
not the same as before. And plus, Pacheco runs like a cartoon character. He's going to hurt his fucking feet just as bad as when he got knocked out the first time. Except for
I just hope that he doesn't come back this week, comes back another week. I mean, the Chiefs are still looking really good. They don't need to rush him back. So if the Chiefs are smart, they let him fully recover. That's what I'm hoping for fantasy value-wise.
Are the Chiefs looking really good? They only beat Carolina by 3 points.
Hey, I don't know if they
Yeah,
really look
well,
good.
They've got a nice lead in their division. Let's just put it that way then.
No, they're almost shoo-ins for the playoffs at this point.
I mean, I know they're still fighting for the number 1 seed, so they're still going to be giving it their all, but I don't think you rush a player like Pacheco back from an injury.
No, not right now.
Not with the way Kareem Hunt's been doing.
I just hope he doesn't.
He's
kick
carrying
another
his own.
girlfriend in the face.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, as long as he doesn't punt another woman, he's fine.
Pretty much. I have no respect for that guy. I hate his guts.
Sorry, Spotify and YouTube, but I don't think anyone on their legal team watches this. So.
As you can tell, we do not condone
Kicking
violence against women.
in the face.
Yeah,
No.
violence against women.
No, not
No,
that
we
I
do
haven't
not
daydreamed
condone-
about it, but that's where it stays, up here.
Those are intrusive thoughts, and that's where they stay.
Those are active thoughts. They weren't intrusive. I was.
Goodness gracious.
It's like if this bitch doesn't get out of the left lane right now, I'm gonna drag her out of the car and kick her in the head.
I feel
That's an
like
exaggeration.
I feel, to move away from that, I feel like we didn't talk about the playoff picture enough. So, I'm not trying to be humble here, and I know that Justin's laughing about it,
I'll
but
go ahead and
everybody,
excuse myself.
yeah, everybody is still in the hunt. Justin, on his 2-game win streak, because in a movie that I've seen, you get 1 win, and then you get a second win. That classifies as a win streak. So he's got himself.
League?
Yes.
3 wins is a fucking winning streak in that movie, by the way. You get 1 win, then you get another win, and you get 3. That's called a winning streak.
But he's getting hot at the wrong part of the season because it's coming to the tail end, and I still have to face him one more time. And my playoff hopes are definitely still on the line because I am one of those teams that is sitting right in the middle of the pack at 6 and 7. Not a great place to be.
Team spoiler,
2.
baby!
Yeah, Justin's playing spoiler right now for sure.
Lemon juice in the milk, baby.
It hurts, man. It hurts, and that's something I want to talk about. Is how do you guys deal with frustrating losses? So the last 2 weeks, right? 3 weeks, because I beat Blake. So the last 3 weeks against Nikki P, I lost by 3 fucking points because I put the wrong player in, or I didn't sub out the player I was thinking about subbing out. This week, I lose to Scotty. Had I swapped out Baker Mayfield for Tua Tagovailoa, I would have won the game. The simple swap at quarterback. And I know that if everybody would have played their best team, Scott still would have beat me. Scotty still would have beat me if everybody had their starting lineups in. But I literally sat there and watched last night's game and watched the first quarter tick by and thought, I might have a chance. I stupidly thought to myself, I might have a chance to pull this away. The Chargers defense is looking pretty good against this offense. They're running the ball. And then J.K. Dobbins gets hurt. And there went all my fucking dreams and hopes and aspirations to anything. And then to top it off, I watch Lamar Jackson throw a 40-yard touchdown pass. Not 39 yards.
Exactly 40. That was very
Exactly a 40-yard touchdown pass, which in our league allots you three extra bonus points. I believe it's 3 or 2. I can't remember. But you get extra points for anything over 40 fucking yards. So to add the icing onto the cake was that. I should not be in third place. And I'm not saying that Scotty's team's not phenomenal. But I am shooting myself in the foot so many times this year and previous years with not sitting and starting the right player. I don't know how you guys do with these frustrating losses, but again, I should have a 1-point lead, be tied with Scotty. I should be in second place. Oh man.
So what is it you're trying to get at, basically? Like, how do you cope with not picking the right player? Or,
Yeah.
like, trying to, I don't know.
I mean, you're talking to the expert over there.
Put a salve on.
Yeah, how do you put the block in, man, to just brush it off? Because
well, first of all, you should eliminate hope. That's what I should tell you. No, like, yeah, obviously, like, if you're super hyped about your team and you think your team is better, like, you're gonna get frustrated whenever you lose, especially when it comes to, like, a super close game. You happen to run into fucking Saquon Barkley, score the all-time amount of points,
and I still almost survived.
but that's all part of the shit that beat you. So, I mean, if you can hang your head on one thing, you lost to the team that had Saquon, like, go off. So, I mean, there's, like, you gotta look for silver linings for one.
I
That's
watched
one
that
way.
game, and that second touchdown run, like, if you've ever felt your heart and just, like, every hope that you had just instantly just drained from your entire being, it was in that moment. Because I watched as Moses parted the seas, and that gap became so massive that he jump roped through it for a 72-yard touchdown run with, like, minutes left. Just to put more salt on the wound, another extra 40-yard plus touchdown run, don't give me...
Yeah.
Oh, that was so painful to watch, man.
You just have to accept it, that's all. Like, what you need to do is just grow up and accept the fact that you lost and don't dwell on it. That's my main... That's the main advice I can give you. Like, I used to be super passionate about my shit too, but I know my team has flaws, so I'm not upset when I lose because I know it's not a good team. I recognize that there are, like, pieces of my team that are really bad and have no depth to, and that's why I'm going to lose until that shit gets better. The shit that really frustrates me, because I'm not going to pretend like I don't get frustrated, is like the players that I perceive as good, and they ended up having a shit day. Like Justin Jefferson's been on like a 2-week streak of like just not having great games.
It was very
With,
much
like,
the Addison show yesterday.
yeah,
last
and,
week.
but I mean that's fine. It's whatever. Like, but he shines more than he doesn't. So I'm not really gonna like. I'm not gonna cry about that. So you just have to get the fuck over it. Like, that's really the best thing I could tell you. You lost one
It's
week.
just tough,
cool.
man.
No, it isn't, because you play next week. You have another chance to win.
That's
Just
true.
one fucking week, dude.
I guess the toughest loss is when it's something like that and you're in the playoffs.
That's when you should start fucking caring.
Yeah.
Right now it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're in the playoff picture. You're in the top 6.
But I don't want to be anywhere near Andy in the playoffs
Well-
until the championship game.
Then I don't know what to tell you. You just keep playing your games.
Nah, it was a good win by Scotty. Like I said, all the way around. I knew I was going to be a straight jackass if I won, by the way. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because I knew I shouldn't have won. When none of my running backs put up anything close to 10 points, I don't deserve to win. So the fact that I came close to winning, had I pulled that off, I'd have been a jackass. I'm going to tell you that
Glad
right
you
now.
didn't win then.
Yeah, so am I.
You douche.
Because I wouldn't have liked who I was going to be.
I haven't talked 1 ounce of shit to Blake, and I've
I
beaten
was
him.
going to say, you've been very quiet.
That's because apparently, according to you, your win's under review, commissioner review.
I'm gonna review my own win. No, I'm just. It coincides with the comments that Blake made last week, saying he's going to bench his players, but he didn't bench his players. His players just underperformed, and he ran into the buzzsaw that is my defense. With the exception of Roquan fucking Smith not playing last minute. Thanks a lot, asshole, but whatever.
I'm trying to see, because on Sleeper you can see just how many points one play can be. Trying to see
like a
where
single play?
On a single play, yeah. And
What do you want to know? I'll tell you.
I was trying to look up the 72-yard run by Saquon and how many points just that one play was.
Oh, you really want to know? It was 16.
16.
16.2.
Good
So
God.
it's 10. It's every 10 yards is a point for rushing yards, and and the touchdowns worth 6, and the bonus point is either worth 2 or 3. We still haven't figured it out. So it was 16 points. He did that twice. Twice, not once, but twice.
He also got bonuses for going over certain thresholds for
Yeah.
yardage.
So not only did he go over 100 fucking yards, which is 3 points, that I know for a fact.
Yep.
He got 6. God damn it, because he went over 200.
I think going over 200 yards is equal to a touchdown. So I mean, that's
It is.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley went for all-purpose yards 302 or 303.
Yeah, we're lucky we don't include all-purpose yards because that would fuck you even harder.
225 rushing yards and 40.
We do all-purpose yards.
255.
255. Yeah.
Whew.
255, and then
No, we don't categorize all-purpose yards as a stat. We don't do that
What's the difference between all-purpose and what we do?
because all-purpose would collectively add stuff together to bring you to a different bonus threshold, and we don't have that. If you were to add his all-purpose yards together, he would hit 300. And if I was to include the all-purpose yards, 300 would probably have some tangible score to it.
Like 9?
Yeah, it would be an extra 3 points or some shit like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Just
It makes sense.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want to do
it's
that.
just broken down between I think it's just rushing yards and then just his
Receiving
yards.
and rushing. And catches.
But still,
That's how you
302 or 303 total yards.
We don't need to keep reliving it. I watched it.
To give you an idea, that was more yards than 7 total teams.
That was more yards than my entire offense.
Cardinals too.
Yeah,
That was more yards than the Cardinals and Seahawks both put up in that game.
The Giants and
More than the Giants.
Take your pick. There's a lot of teams out there this week that.
Yeah, I mean it's very entertaining to watch the two best running backs in the league light the fucking light the league on fire, basically.
I think he
With,
just made
all that extra yardage and the touchdowns. It's pretty incredible because I haven't seen these kind of consistent numbers in a very long time. Usually it's one dude rising above everybody else, but now we have 2 guys, one for yardage, one for touchdowns at the moment.
Yeah.
But even still, they're both pretty close to each other in the other category as well, so it's pretty damn impressive.
Well, with what Saquon did, he's at 13 and Derrick Henry's at 15 on the year. So
yeah, but that's including 2 receiving touchdowns apiece.
Yeah. So, but he even tightened up the race when it came to touchdowns. I think this is going to be a phenomenal MVP race down the stretch between him and Henry, between Barkley and Henry. Who do you think's going to win MVP?
Fucking Lamar Jackson, and I'm going to be furious.
Or Josh Allen.
Oh, I don't think so.
I would
not
love
this
Josh
year.
Allen to win it, but Josh Allen only has 15 passing touchdowns.
I really think it's going to be either Henry or Saquon.
Dude, if McCaffrey didn't win it last year, no running back's going to get it anytime soon.
I don't think Lamar Jackson's numbers have been. I just faced him, and yes, they are phenomenal numbers. But I don't think they're close to what Derrick Henry and Saquon are doing for those teams.
He's the number 1 scoring quarterback.
Derrick Henry's the number 1 scoring running back, and he has him beat on how many points he puts forward compared to.
Lamar has 20 plus touchdowns, and barely maybe 5 picks, I think.
Yeah,
he's played better than he played last year when he won the MVP. So
he has only 3 picks.
Oh, okay, so even better. So it's it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to win the fucking thing, which is going to be very annoying, but whatever. Like
20. He's 27 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
Jesus.
Yeah,
And that's just doing quick math. I could have done that wrong, but it's still like 27-3.
but smart money always says it's going to go to a quarterback at the end of the year.
I'm just tired of seeing it be a quarterback, man. These running backs are running some of the best football we've seen in a long time.
That's why I said last year it should have been McCaffrey.
It should have.
Well, and that's why, like, if we're going to if Saquon or Derrick Henry don't win it this year, they need to change the NFL. They need to change the MVP award to best quarterback.
Well, they don't because they give them the offensive player of the year every time, like as a fucking like secondary prize.
I'm just saying they need to change it to, instead of MVP, call it like most valuable quarterback.
Well, what I want to know is, so there's the same amount of baseball teams as there's football teams. Why do we have a National League and an American League MVP when it comes to baseball, but we don't have an American or an NFC and an AFC MVP when it comes to football? Why is there only one player that is the best?
Because it's more about like total domination. Like to me, like it's a puss out way to do things. Like here's our 1A and here's our other 1A. Like that's garbage. Like you want somebody to be the best. That's why these guys play. It's a machismo driven like league, and you want the best player to be universally known as the best player. Like you don't want to say like, well, he was good on that side, but this guy was really good on this side. So let's both give him an award. That's participation trophy shit, and I don't like it.
Okay. That makes sense. I'm just tired of seeing it given to a quarterback. They're the captain of the ship. They're going to score the majority of the points because they're going to be throwing to more than just one guy who's responsible for scoring his own touchdowns, pretty much. I'm tired of seeing it to a quarterback. I would like to see it to a running back, wide receiver, maybe, if they're putting up phenomenal numbers.
Cooper Kupp didn't. He was in the talks about it, like when he got the Triple Crown, but I don't think he was seriously considered at the time.
But that's what I'm saying. Like these are some numbers that we haven't seen in a long time, and I don't think that those numbers for those position players are getting the respect that they deserve when it comes to the MVP.
Well, we don't know what the final stats are. That's the thing. Like you don't know how many yards Derrick Henry's going to get or how many touchdowns he's going to get at the end of the year. If he gets like 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns, yeah, he'll probably be in the conversation, sure. And Saquon, like his yardage, like he's on track for like 2,100 yards at this particular moment. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to get there.
Yeah,
it'd be wild if he did.
That's breaking the single season record, and if he doesn't get that, then MVP means nothing anymore.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, obviously, like if he breaks that record, it's been a long-standing record, so they'll probably give him the MVP just because he set an all-time record. That makes sense. Like you can't justify like some dude doing that and not giving him the MVP. But like I said, like we'll see at the end of the year. They still have to play out the rest of the stretch. They have I don't even know how many weeks are left in the regular season. What, like 5? 6?
5.
6.
Sorry, 6.
Was it 6? Yeah, because I know we only have like 2 more in our regular season. So.
Sorry. I guess Eric Dickerson has the record for most in one season.
Sure does. AP came close.
2105. So it's only happened once.
Mm-hmm. Adrian Peterson came close. Jamal Lewis came close.
AP is
Chris Johnson came close. AP
there's
is the
not
closest
a lot.
one, though.
Yeah, there's not a lot over 2,000 yards in a single season.
It's only happened 8 total times.
Well, I just named like 4 of them, so.
Yeah, so I'll start at 8 because I just looked it up. So starting at 8, O.J. Simpson, Chris Johnson, Terrell Davis, Derrick Henry, Barry, Jamal Lewis, AP, and then Eric Dickerson.
I do remember the. Oh fuck! You just said it, and I already forgot his fucking name.
Did you guys watch that documentary about Barry Sanders?
Is there a new one?
The one with Eminem in it, where they talk about, I think it was on Netflix or Amazon Prime. Gotta remember what the hell it was called. It was really good. Talked about his whole story, his dad, everything, why he walked away.
I mean,
Is it Bye Bye Barry?
Yes. Bye Bye Barry, yeah.
Amazon. But
I
but yeah, no, he is an amazing story. One record that I think he still holds: most yards lost. Because his whole thing was, if you're going to tackle me, you have to catch me, and a lot of that involved running backwards.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, that goes to being part of the dynasty that was the Detroit Lions in the, I think it was the 80s and 90s. So
Yeah.
Last time they were good.
They weren't
Well,
good when he was there, dude.
they weren't good when they had him.
They made a
They
couple
weren't
playoff pushes.
Yeah, but they
I
weren't
think
good.
They only won one playoff. Up until last year, they only won one playoff game in 60 years.
Yeah.
Dude. They were dog shit the entire time Calvin Johnson was there.
Yep.
Yeah,
He was part
Megatron.
of he was part of the 0-16 team.
Yeah, figure that shit out.
Yeah.
He probably had
And
like
so
15
was
touchdowns.
So was Dan Campbell, their coach.
Dan Campbell was the coach, and the quarterback was Matt Stafford.
Dan Campbell was probably a tight end on the team at the time.
He was.
See?
Yeah.
He wasn't the coach yet.
Or sorry, the
No,
now
he
coach
he was
was.
the player, the now coach. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that team did not deserve to be 0-16. But anyways,
Anyways,
holy crap,
we've
man!
gone off on a whole different conversation. We were talking about the MVP race.
Yeah. Well,
But
like
yeah,
I said,
if
we'll see. The fantasy MVP, the fucking. Like, who knows? We'll see at the end of the year.
so far fantasy MVP, it's not necessarily that close. I guess it is a little bit, but it's not. It depends on bye weeks and how they kind of hit. But we have Lamar at 309, Saquon at 285,
Scotty has both those guys.
and Scotty has both of them.
Who's third? Derek?
Burrow.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Chase
Burrow.
is probably pretty high up there, too.
Fifth,
Lamar
maybe.
Seventh.
Seventh.
7th.
Brock Bowers has to be top 5 then. Who else is?
No.
No.
Bowers is just, like, so far and away the best tight end because he's got, like, 70 catches already.
Yeah.
He's got 99 targets, which is ridiculous. But
hate
we'll see
seeing
well they go, like, how big he's going to be going forward because they lost Gardner Minshew and they don't have a goddamn quarterback.
Broke his collarbone. Ain't no
And
comment.
Daniel Jones shot that shit down.
Yeah, he was very fast.
Like,
Did not
beggars can be
take that.
choosers. What a twat.
I saw that. I want to play for a contender, and I'm like, on their
don't deserve
practice
to play for a
squad. Like,
contender.
where are you?
So you can fumble for
Like,
that
those
team, you
contenders-
loser?
Yeah, those contenders have proven backups. What are you trying to be on their practice squad? Like, I don't understand.
To give you an idea, also Derrick Henry is 4th, Baker at 5.
Fuck you,
Jalen
Baker Mayfield.
He's at 5.
He had one of the, I will say, one of the best celebrations this year was his
Yeah,
rushing
he's-
touchdown.
that's-
Yeah.
Easily the best touchdown celebration we've had this year.
Pretty solid.
That was amazing. I'll remind me to mention his press conference interview about that. And then Jalen Hurts at 6, Jamar at 7, Josh Allen 8,
Yay!
Jaden Daniels at 9.
That makes sense.
I
I got a guy in the top 10.
I know. I have a total of one guy in the top 10, and it was the guy I traded for.
Take it, dude.
Come on.
Who cares? He's
Alvin
yours
Kamara.
now. He's yours.
Yeah.
Mine.
Damn right.
What does that name say under it? Doesn't say Andy.
Kamara?
Yeah.
Kamara.
Doesn't say Andy anymore.
No,
It does
man.
not say Andy anymore. I'm trying to find where our good friend Brock Bowers is here.
He's probably.
Probably way down on there. Probably like 30s.
Well, he has like what, 2 touchdowns maybe on the year,
Yeah.
Not
and that's not going to really put you on
calling
the
on
top.
the 40s.
He's not-
51.
Yeah, like you're not even top 50. So
No, 51. But not far behind Drake London. 0.4 points but behind top
Drake
50.
London. The Falcons are garbage, man.
They have taken a turn to be really bad.
Hey, how'd Kyle Pitts do for you?
I Didn't play him.
Oh, that's right, because you got Kate Otten back.
We have Cade Otton. Why would I play him? But he's not seeing as many targets as Mike Evans is back now.
All right, who do you think's picking up Jonnu Smith? Jonnu Smith is not going to be out there anymore, but who is getting him?
I mean, I could if I wanted to.
Well,
I mean, obviously you could. So, I mean, obviously if you said me, motherfucker, I have no choice but to say, yeah, you're right.
well, we all can say this, but he has the first waiver wire line.
No, he does not. It resets, and it goes back to Justin.
It'll be me because I'm in
I
last
thought
place.
it goes back to the lowest scoring.
No, it goes back to last place.
It's based on position.
Oh,
It should. No, it should go to lowest scoring for that week, in my fucking opinion. That's something I want to bring up at the managers meeting. No offense, Justin, but you had one victory up until 2 fucking weeks ago. You should not be waiver priority playing cock block at the bottom of the fucking list for these people that still have shots at playoffs. I know you didn't, and I know that you didn't, but somebody could. Like, if they're sitting in the basement, like my brother, I love my brother to death. He is a fucking moron. But that is some stupid shit he would probably do. Like, hey,
So
this
your
guy's
issue-
having great. Let me just pick him up real quick and call it a day.
Your issue is with a hypothetical situation where I cockblock people and like didn't let anybody pick anybody up.
No,
That's
mine
your
is
issue?
because I got screwed out of Tony Pollard because somebody dropped him, and I went to go pick him up, but because of where I am at in the standings, even though I just lost and put up an embarrassing number, I wasn't eligible for him because I was too high up on the standings when it came to the waiver wire. I mean, he dropped a running back 1. Everybody, there was 3 other people that were trying to pick him up, and I scored the least amount of points the week prior, and I was like, fuck, I'm still gonna get fucked. Like, it doesn't make a difference.
I did not know Tony Pollard was a free agent. I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you dropped the ball, buddy.
Wait.
I think it was actually no, sorry, not Tony Pollard. Who was it that came available?
I was gonna say, I don't think Matt dropped Tony Pollard.
It's like I think I would have made it. Like I would have noticed that. Like that seems like a rather
who
big
was it?
thing.
I'll find it here in a second.
You damn well better, because this is the crux of your fucking argument.
Not Justice.
It's not. No, sorry, it's not the crux of my argument, because my argument is still valid. There should be no reason that somebody that has no shot at the playoffs should be at a higher waiver wire priority. And like I said, you're right. These are hypotheticals. We run a pretty fair and honest league that nobody's doing some shady stuff like that. But
I
I'm
don't think
just
it's shady.
saying, like,
I don't even think it's shady.
no, it wouldn't be shady. Like, you'd
It's
see
not
exactly
shady.
what
Like,
they're doing.
If I were to pick up a player like that, obviously I want to keep him for the long term. I'm not just doing it to fuck over everybody. This is Dynasty. It's not this. If it was a redraft, that would make sense. Like I'm completely out of it. I'm just trying to.
Oh, it was Rico
I'm trying to dick
Dowdle.
everyone. Rico Dowdle sucks nuts, dude. Are you shitting me? That's what you're all bent out of shit.
He put
about?
up.
That guy
He put up
sucks
more.
shit.
He put up more fantasy points this week than any of my running backs. So this week I could have used
This
him
week,
instead of DeAndre Swift. I have DeAndre Swift.
I have made my opinions on him very clear.
I know, and he sucked ever since. So take him back.
He hasn't sucked ever since.
I know.
The Justin curse has continued into DeAndre Swift.
No,
Yes.
they give it to the better goal line back of Roshan Johnson.
You can add, I think Ryan was there for it. Ryan, were you there when DeAndre Swift had that amazing run or catch or whatever it was, and then they brought in? Oh, who'd they bring in? Roshan fucking Johnson.
On the
I got up and walked away from the table. I said, "This is fucking stupid."
It's not stupid. He's 6 foot 230. That's
I
what
get
you
it,
do with
but
those running backs. You
you at
jackass.
least give that running back that just got you all that yards to put you in that scoring position. Give him one chance. Give him
tired.
one fucking
He's got-
opportunity to get in the end zone.
His little bones couldn't fucking hold up on that kind of thing. He went to the sideline for
Jeremy-
orange slices because he had ouchies.
Fuck,
hell
man!
out of
Like
here,
I'm
nuts.
just like, God. He went down at what was it, like the 4-yard line? I got up. I didn't even wait to see who came in. I already
It was a
knew it. I said,
one-yard
"Here comes
rush.
the." Yeah, I said, "Here comes this stupid fucking bullshit." And you tell me you're too tired to rush the ball for 1 yard? What are you, Anthony Richardson?
He's a little boy.
Oh,
You have little legs.
Get over it.
oh, fuck me, man.
It
I
makes sense.
was like,
every team does that shit. They bring in a bruiser at the 1.
they sure don't. James Conner gets so many 1 yard touchdowns.
James Conner is a
So
primary
many.
back dingus. Like, they don't use anybody else that
So,
much.
so was DeAndre Swift for the majority of the season. And then they were like, hey, let's bring Roschon Johnson back into the equation. And now
I wonder why they did that. Let me think. Oh, because they fired their fucking offensive coordinator last week, dude.
Yeah.
Because they were
I know.
dog shit on offense, and now they did that because it makes fucking logical sense to put your bigger back on the 1 so you can punch it in. You have a better chance.
Logistically, I get and I understand.
I don't know if you do.
The
I don't think you
frustration is
understand
still
it.
there because I'm just pissed that he gets these 69, and just like Saquon Barkley, they did a stat.
Saquon
They
scores.
showed
That's
how
the
many.
difference.
Yes, but they showed how many 1 yard touchdowns Justin Fields has. It's over half of how many rushing touchdowns Justin Fields has. I think it was like 7. That's 7 more that Saquon could have had. But instead they have that brotherly shove that they do, and they get it every time. It's
Saquon scores from like 50 plus out, dude. He doesn't need to run it on the 1.
He doesn't need
he walks in from 72 apparently.
He jumps backwards over fools, dude. He doesn't need any of that kind of shit. It's a one-man
MVP,
highlight reel.
NFL, MVP.
NFL's not watching this. Don't worry about it.
We got a total of like 10 watches all across all places this week. So
I listen. I'm a participant. I can call out.
I know you two are. I know you two
Yeah,
are.
I'll
'cause
just.
you're-
I can go ahead and put the other 5 people on blast. They can all suck my nuts.
We have two people that
Assholes.
we have 2 other people that show up. So Blake and Kyle, you are exempt. Everybody else, you suck.
Joe
Well, and
Joe's
Joe
appearing.
has the same number of appearances.
Joe still
as
sucks because he's not leaving opinions, so he still sucks.
Well, nobody.
Because he's watching it. I know he's watching it.
You had a pretty hardy opinion against AR.
Yeah, I know he's watching it. Yeah, but that was live. That was a live opinion.
It was. It
That's
was one of the better moments too. I love that.
Yeah, it was. I had no clue he was going to do that. He looked at me and said, where's the camera on this thing? I said, right there. And he goes, okay, good. It just fucking turned it.
He had a good reason. That was some ridiculous shit.
I know.
It was. I'm not sure how it came through on the video side.
Great.
Okay, good.
Great. Because you can see it shaking and just...
Because when it was happening, because the record versus the actual post is a little different. So when it was happening, it was very like Florida Wi-Fi right after a storm. It was a little jumpy. But then when it came through, I guess it came out great. So
No, it came out great.
Yeah, sometimes he lags and I don't like. It doesn't match up like with the timing when I'm talking. But like when it comes through, like you get the reactions on the regular. Like I'm lagging. Like whenever I think it was a couple times I'm talking to Blake and shit. Like my stupid nasally ass voice fucking is talking and shit, and then Blake is over here like saying stuff, and I respond with a quip, and then Blake responds quickly, but I don't hear it in my head. Like so, I sound like I'm fucking slow.
I'll tell you right now,
happens.
one of the first sessions we did, I apparently muted when I was wearing the headset, I muted the headset. So like the screen still showed I wasn't. So I kept trying to talk, and you and Blake were talking, and I was like, these motherfuckers are just talking over me. And then finally I was like, oh, I am muted. None of them can hear me.
I saw you talking.
Yeah. Ryan finally said something like 10 minutes later, like, Nick, your mic's muted if you're trying to say something. I was like, well, that explains why they were being
Well, you
dicks.
more than made up for it with your ridiculous fucking rants on players and shit like that. So like, you're fine now.
That's what I'm here for, man. Some entertainment. Got to bring some random outside rants to...
I understand. I'm totally fine with that. I'm all for ridiculous takes and like venting about players. Like that's entertainment for me.
And for those of you that watch this, I don't religiously watch football. Hi, by the way. I don't religiously watch football. So you don't need to sit in front of the TV 24/7 to be fantastic at this game. Throw some darts at a dartboard.
Or be
Get with
average
your
like he
neighbor.
is. Not
Yeah,
good enough to be
I
number
mean-
2.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm third in the league, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm better than my brother, who, yeah, he's what, sixth? He's on the bubble right now. He's the bubble team right now. Uh,
Technically, you're on the bubble too, but
yeah, but I have a 1 game lead, so I need to lose two to be out.
Currently, they have to go up
Correct.
against the number 1 team next week. So
And then the number 10th team. So go figure.
number 10th. That's correct.
Yeah.
number 2. Which, funny enough, I actually go against Joe this week. So
Yeah, good luck.
I mean, if you win, then that helps Blake with his draft pick. So I mean, hey.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Justin is now officially eliminated. Knowing that, Justin is officially eliminated unless you guys somehow manage to tie.
Dude, I'm not. I don't even pretend like I had hope to make the playoffs, man. Like, statistically speaking, like you can shove those stats up your butthole, dude. Like, there's no way I was gonna make it.
you still have a chance. You play Nikki P.
I just wanted to see you. I just wanted to see you just like limp in and say "fuck everybody else" as your.
If I got to the playoffs, I was gonna run the table. Like, there's no way.
That's kind of what I was like hoping to see. I was like,
Instead, I'm gonna
I
get to
don't
the
ever
toilet bowl,
want.
I'm gonna win the game,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna lose the number 1 overall pick. So.
I mean, how
You lose it to Joe too, of all people, who doesn't even have a pick.
That would suck, because then Blake
Well,
gets the
if-
goddamn thing.
Then it would be Blake getting it. Yeah. Then Jesus.
We all know who he's picking. Like, that's not a question.
Especially if he's a
Which-
cowboy.
A point that came up this week. So Ashton Genty went down with an injury this week.
What kind of injury?
But it was a knee injury.
Ooh.
If it's
But
ACL,
they
then
were
that's...
very lucky. Very lucky he came back in the fourth quarter.
Well, then it's not serious. Like, Jonathan
Yeah.
Brooks went down last year around this time with the ACL injury, and he just barely played last week.
He had
So-
2 total carries this week.
Yeah,
Uh,
because
but-
Chuba Hubbard, or Chuba Hubbard, whatever you want to say
Chuba,
it, like,
thank you.
he's... Whatever, I don't care. Like, he's just
Chuba,
he's an
very
average... He's an average running back at best, dude. Like, he's just
Hey,
very
he's
good at
giving
doing
me
it.
average points. That's all I care about.
I mean, he's one of the top 10 running backs on the year. Like, I'll give him his props, but I mean, like, you look at him, he's very mid and nothing special when you watch him play. Like, he doesn't do anything outstanding.
No, nothing outstanding except scored against the Chiefs to tie it.
I mean, good on him.
That
He's
made
better
me
than my
happy.
guys do. Like, well, with the
It made me
exception of
very happy to
Achan,
watch
he
him jump up
catches
to 15
touchdowns.
points.
But did they win?
They almost did.
Ah.
So no,
Right?
no is the answer to that. No.
But did they win?
No, because Patrick Mahomes decided to go for a 50-yard run.
Yeah, you left 1:46 on the fucking clock for the greatest quarterback, one of the greatest quarterbacks playing the game right now, because Lamar
Well, he's
Jackson's
not
on
that-
fire too.
He's not that great. I would trade him.
Yeah, I would too. I still stand by my trade. I got two future draft picks out of it, and Justin Herbert. Still stand by it.
I like Justin Herbert.
Fantasy-wise, not great, but actual NFL, one of the greatest we've seen.
Yeah.
He's
But,
Kermit the
yeah.
Frog, so whatever.
That's,
Looks
Honestly,
like
it was
Fozzie
the
Bear.
draft picks that did it for
Looks
me
like
in the
Fozzie
trade.
Bear. Sounds like Kermit.
Knowing that I was getting a couple draft picks with it, that was really kind of what sealed the deal for that trade. But
I get it.
I participated in the survey on Spotify this time, and it actually went through.
out of it too. So
I
so
put
that's
one
a
on
good
each
segment.
usually. I try, and I sometimes wait till the last fucking minute because like I panic. Like I don't have any questions. I don't know what to say.
I noticed with the question this week.
Well, one of them definitely wasn't mine.
No. So, but that's a good little segue here. We'll jump over to the Spotify side because I thought I enjoyed this poll quite a bit. So the poll we had for this week was: does Justin's win streak continue? There was 2 votes for it, 1 for no, and 1 that said, "Is this a joke?" So
I voted for no.
you voted for no.
I
You
think
voted for no, but you did. You won.
I have no expectations.
I still voted.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
I voted. Is this a joke? Because
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
it's-
yes, it is.
yeah,
My team is.
I mean, but the question didn't state is he going to make the playoffs? The question stated
No
is he
one
on a
needs
hot
to
streak?
know the goddamn
Is he
answer to
on
that,
a
man.
hot
I'm
streak?
telling you.
I mean, 2 straight
I think
games
I know the
is
question this
starting
week.
a
I know
hot
the
streak.
question this week.
Well,
I know the
hold
question
on.
this
Is the last place team that has very little chance going to make the fucking playoffs? No, he's not going to make the goddamn playoffs.
That's going to be interesting to see how that looks.
I live in the fourth
So
dimension.
that was the poll that we had. So we'll jump over into the comments.
God damn it.
Jesus. Okay. So on the Spotify side, with Andy being taken down for the first time this year, what is your song you would pick for slaying the dragon scenario?
Ooh.
Songs on Spotify are usually going to be music related because it's a music
Music
streaming platform. So
The
I'm not going to say like which podcast would you listen to as bashing zombies in the head? Like,
so kind of like what your victory song is, but like you slay more or less.
as you watch the scores tabulate, you're like seeing him way down there. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
like you could go like Joe Esposito. You're the best for the Karate Kid.
Honestly, I think Zombie by the Cranberries.
Something slow like that, like an anti-war
I'm in your
song
head.
for Ireland.
I'm in your head. Yeah,
Okay.
just kind of salt on the wound. Like, I knew what you were going to do this week, motherfucker. I got you.
Okay.
I think I said it as a walk-up song, but I think I'll also say it for like a winning song. But Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
You did say that for your walk-up song, but
You
yeah,
sure
no, I
did.
get it. I get it. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I was gonna go with like a bunch because I know like I have a bunch of songs that nobody's ever heard of that I'm not gonna even throw out there. I could say like "Through the Fire and the Flames" by fucking Dragon Force. Like,
Oh, that's a great one. I hated playing that on Guitar Hero.
hell yeah, it's ridiculously hard,
I mean,
but it's
funny enough
epic
is
in
that there are
scale,
things
and
that
like
are
you just have that shit playing like as you just mowing down Andy's stupid team. I thought that would be very fun.
So I just looked at something to get off topic, but since we brought up Andy's team, I think this was just payback because this was week 3 when they faced each other, where it basically flipped the script. Kyle put up 113 and Andy put up 196.
almost to the number.
Yeah, it's pretty much payback.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. Yeah, I mean, just happened to fall on a bipocalypse, but I mean, like in 2 weeks we're gonna have another one. So hey,
I mean another one.
in rivalry.
NFL, get your shit together.
Oh wait, man. Show makes it
No bye weeks this week, but 6 last week, 6 more the following week. Stupid.
Pretty cool, right?
And then let's jump over. So that was Spotify. We'll jump over into the YouTube side. And so, if you were the captain of a Turkey Bowl team, which player would you select with your first pick, current or all time?
This one was suggested by a coworker.
I'm gonna expand this. I'm gonna say you pick one current and one all time.
Okay, that sounds good. Ooh.
I hate to say it, but I think just so we could have a two-way player, I would take Deion Sanders as my all-time.
All-time Dion.
Because he can play both ways.
I mean, he played baseball and defensive play. He didn't like really play offense.
I thought he played offense and defense.
He might have had a couple
He
of
tried.
in there, but he was
Yeah.
mostly just a quarterback.
He was mostly a corner.
He's
I
a
know,
two-sport player, but
but- Yeah.
But did he play in the Turkey Bowl?
no.
Did he play on Thanksgiving?
No, Turkey Bowl is just like your... Like a
This is
traditional...
a hypothetical scenario.
Okay.
Since you didn't understand the awesomely bad question last week, I have to explain this one to you. Is that if you are, like, you know how some families, like, they do a little turkey bowl, they play a game of football on Thanksgiving. Like, they just
Okay.
go out. Like, you're the captain of the team, and you get to pick an NFL player with your number one overall pick. Like, who would you want to be on your team? Like, who would you think would help you best win that game? And
Okay.
since Ryan expanded it to where like you would pick somebody currently in the NFL,
Retired and in it.
And-
Okay.
Yeah, one
but
all-time
and also somebody who like all time. Like obviously you're going to take like Troy Polamalu or something like that. But
Okay. Makes sense. I get it now.
gotcha. Okay.
I didn't know like if they had to have played on Thanksgiving. I was like, God damn, that's a specific question.
Well, and
Jesus.
then
I mean,
I
like
would
just
take-
go with the Lions.
I
Barry
would take
Sanders.
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. I was like Lions, Cowboys, and Packers. Which one of those 3 can I pick from?
There's a lot
I
of
mean,
good players from
I
this
mean,
team.
if you're going off of
Mhm.
that, give me Calvin Johnson. Give me Megatron.
Let's see.
I'll take Megatron any day.
All
I still stand
time,
by my Rangers.
I'm gonna pick Bo Jackson.
You
Well,
know
I guess
Bo?
we need to establish the rules. Is it tackle or is it two-hand touch?
I'll say two-hand touch.
I'd say
But that
flag.
goes. Well, either way. But he's a brick shit house that would fucking outrun anybody anyway. So, like, there's no way you're gonna bring him. Like, you're not gonna take his flags either, because he's just a badass who shoots arrows with his feet. He's amazing. All in now. Let's see. There's a lot of good athletes out there. I don't want to say anybody. Probably say a defender. Somebody's really good. Fred Warner, I would say, probably. Because he's like one of like the most athletic linebackers that I've seen in the last few years, and like he could do it all. Like he can intercept the ball, he can tackle, he can fucking do everything. So I think it's a good pick. I always wanted to say Ed Reed for my all-time pick, but I'm like, Bo Jackson's a fucking all-timer. So.
Well, and Ed
That's
Reed
great.
would forget that it's two-hand touch and just murder someone.
Well, Ed Reed would pick off everything in the air because that's what he did.
That too. That too.
He was so incredible at it.
I need to pick a current still too.
I got mine.
It's tricky because you're like, do you want an offensive player for your team? Like, you want to pick a quarterback, obviously. Like,
I know that's what I'm thinking. I hate, as much as I don't like him, I would think I would still take Patrick Mahomes for my current. As much as I hate it, but you want someone that can pick apart the defense. And
Yeah, but you ain't gonna get any defense from him.
that's true.
Like you got to remember, Turkey Bowl, they're playing both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I picked one offense, one defense. I figured it was a nice balance.
Yeah. Well, that was my reasoning with Dion, is because while he didn't play a whole lot of offense, he still has played both sides. So.
Yeah. That's a decent one.
You just need and you're going with Patrick Mahomes for your current.
You know,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Just that's your choice.
I think I might actually go Lamar.
He's pretty fast.
Because he is a because he's still a quarterback, and he's fast enough to he could still play like defense.
He can overthrow everybody, dude. No, that's a good pick. He's a very
and he's big. He's tall. Isn't he like 6'3"?
no, he's not like that. He's over around like 6'1", maybe, but like he's bulkier than a lot of the other guys that run.
Larry Fitzgerald is my number one. Yep. Just throw it to him. He'll catch it. You just tell him the route. He'll run it, too, so you don't have to worry about that.
Tackle.
Yes, he can. So, like, I get both sides of the play, and from what I've heard, he's a really great guy to be around, so he's not going to ruin family day. So,
that's a fact.
Current...
I've not met him. I've met his family, and a really, really nice family.
Yeah, that's what I've heard all the way around. Like, you could run into him on the streets, and some athletes are like, "Get away from me! I don't want to be seen in public." Here, have a great day. My current one is T.J. Watt. Go figure, shocker there. Partially because obviously he's got two other brothers as well, so he'll understand the older brother rivalry that I'll have with my brother. So hopefully that'll help bring me that extra edge. So,
dude, that would have been so much fun if you just picked J.J. Watt as an all-timer and then T.J. Watt as your current.
I thought about it. But
What
you know how much Joe loves Larry Fitzgerald, so I figured I'd give that shout out to him too, and I know what I'll get from there.
Touchdowns before, so
I have too. But that was a good question, man. That was tough. There's so many out there. That was tough.
I mean, you gotta think of every NFL player. It's kind of tough, but
I'm just thinking if anyone just picks Calvin Johnson, you just tell him to just go, and anyone can just throw it up and anywhere in his arm span.
In his 10-foot wingspan, yeah, we get it.
Anywhere is a guaranteed
like 6'3", amazing. Like he had everything. Yeah, same deal with like Fitzgerald. You're gonna get like a guaranteed catch every single time.
Yeah.
Both of those guys in their prime, chef's kiss.
Cooper Cup. I mean, you're gonna get a catch from him almost every time. Same route, same.
Yeah, but he looks homeless.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Looks like he's going there just for the food.
Like, is this guy supposed to be at the park?
I think he just wanted a hot meal.
What's funny about Cooper Cup is we're from the same park. We're from close to the same area. So there would be a likelihood I would randomly see him.
And you would think that.
And you probably
Amish
think that.
facial hair. He's on his way to the soup kitchen.
Lamar Jackson, 6'2".
6'2".
Okay.
No, but then you also look at like a running back, CJ2K would be crazy.
I mean, he was tiny for sure. That's why I picked Bo Jackson. He's a big
You're going off of
motherfucker.
two-hand touch. Like if we're doing two-hand touch, you can't.
You could even have gone McCaffrey current. I mean,
Yeah, he's too injury prone.
well, with Larry too, if
on the
in the
grass.
odd chance that I want to catch a ball from him, I know Larry knows how to throw the ball too. So
And wasn't it who had the passing touchdown in the Super Bowl this last year?
this
Juwan
last year,
Jennings?
yeah.
Juwan Jennings?
Was it? I thought he caught it.
No, he threw it to
No, he
McCaffrey.
passed it to McCaffrey.
Yeah, believe me. Well, I won $70 on that. No, $50 on that play. It was a great play.
Nice. It was a memorable play.
That's why his nickname is Money
line.
Man on my team.
Okay, that makes sense now.
I mean, if/when the Lions make it to the Super Bowl, that's a bet that you want to take again.
A lineman scoring a touchdown, absolutely.
Lineman
No,
scoring
well,
a
just like a
touchdown,
non-quarterback throwing a touchdown.
Oh yeah,
I'll pick
yeah.
David
We were talking
Montgomery.
about this.
100%.
We were talking
David
about this
Montgomery
last
just
week.
chucking it to Sam Laporta, and I would get like fucking $150.
I could see St. Brown doing it.
I can see him. I can see St. Brown.
They do those end arounds where he throws it from time to time.
Maybe. We'll see. Dan Campbell's a crazy shit. Like, if he gets the
Yeah.
Super Bowl, it's going to be very fun to watch.
I love watching Lions games because you never know what Dan Campbell's going to do.
I do. He's going to punch you in the mouth.
They're so good all around.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna run it in? Is it gonna be Jahmyr Gibbs or is it gonna be David Montgomery?
It could be
Are they gonna
both,
throw
man.
it to
Like,
Williams,
Or
is
it could be
gonna-
Jared Goff on a
it'll be
rare
one of those
occasion.
two. They both
Yeah.
they both have 10 touchdowns on the year. Like, at least 10 touchdowns. I think one of them has 11.
So, yeah, Lions. I'm excited for them. They are by far the best team in the NFL, which is great to see because they have always been notoriously kind of a joke for a long, long time.
Mhm.
So
My-
it's just
My fucking hopeful wish is that the Bills and the Lions make the Super Bowl.
that
Yeah,
is
at
the
least-
Super Bowl that I think America wants.
And then at least one of those fuckers would like. I mean, it would be heartbreaking for the Bills to lose again in the Super Bowl, but like at least one of them would actually come out with a Super Bowl victory and like for the first time. So I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and they play.
I'm just tired of seeing the Chiefs. I want to see somebody different.
Is it the last week of the season where it is the Bills Lions, or is that in like week 16?
Do not
I need
know.
I know they do play each other. The 15th, December 15th is when they play each other.
In like 3 weeks.
So
3
they
weeks,
are.
okay.
Yeah.
So that's week 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the week after I play you.
that's going to be a very, very good game to watch.
Should be. I look forward to it.
Hopefully, either way, it'll be an exciting game. I hope it turns out that is the Super Bowl because it would be a first-time championship for either team that wins, and it won't be the Chiefs there.
I just think it'll be an entertaining Super Bowl for sure. Like we said, Dan Campbell, God, I hope he makes it.
Coach of the year?
I just... Eee. If they make it.
If they make it.
It'd be hard not to give it to Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
This year,
Yeah.
with a rookie quarterback and actually like in contention for winning the division. We'll see how that plays out, but like Dan Campbell is awesome. Like they were great last year, so I mean like that little bit extra you would have to get more to win the Coach of the Year. Like there's so much. Like it's easier for a lot of other guys to actually win it than it would be for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could even argue the because Dan Quinn that's the Commanders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jaden
So,
Daniels.
Yeah, so that's a very easy grab. I mean, you could also argue with is Sean Payton still with the Broncos, or is it?
Yes, he is. Yep.
Well, never.
Bo Nix is his prodigal son.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is awesome, dude.
Yes, he is.
I'm trying to think of who else could maybe take that. I think it's really up to one of those two.
Yeah,
if the Commanders make a playoff run and win a playoff game, maybe.
I'm telling you, Dan Quinn's got to go to the bowl to win Coach of the Year.
He has to go to the Super Bowl to win it? No.
I think so.
No.
Maybe he'd get away with the conference championship.
If he gets him to the
He's got to at
playoffs,
least get a
that's
playoff
enough.
win.
Or just two.
It wasn't enough last year.
He wasn't there last year.
No, not Dan Quinn. Dan Campbell.
Oh, I thought you said Dan Quinn. My mistake.
Sorry. Too many Dans.
Yeah, too many Dans.
One's a beefcake. One of them wears his hat backwards.
Yeah.
And one of those.
That's a good comparison.
I mean, one of them thinks he's a 5-year-old. The other one's Dan Campbell. So.
I mean, if there's one thing I really like seeing, it's his post-game talks that he has with the team. I'm not sure how often you guys jump on social media or TikTok or anything like that, but every Sunday night or every Monday morning, I see a Dan Campbell post-game speech that he has in the locker room with his team, and it's like he's one of those coaches you want to play for.
For sure.
Like
Absolutely.
you'll give him everything you have and a little bit more.
That's why the Lions are doing what they're doing.
Yeah. He's always jacked
Plain
up
and
on
simple.
6 espressos in a giant mug every morning. So
I think he just chews a coffee bag the entire game. Just
good. Good.
Takes caffeine patches.
Yeah.
Just straight caffeine.
He just fucking layers his body into a pattern.
Into the Lions logo pattern.
This one's a W for victory.
For double victory.
The two lions going into each other.
That's pretty intricate. He has a big chest.
What? Any other more questions on YouTube?
I think that was it. I think that will just kind of wrap us up here.
You didn't have anything, bastard.
No.
Me?
Is that anything?
I've got one. We can talk about if y'all still want to talk, or
We'll keep it
if we
quick.
gotta go.
Yeah, we could run through
Y'all-
it pretty quick.
Oh, it'll be quick. You think Aaron Rodgers is still with the Jets next year?
I don't know if he has a job.
Do you think he's still with the Jets before this year's over?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I think
But do we
finished
think
up-
he's still with the Jets next year?
No. If the Jets are smart, they finish this year and he's out.
If they're smart.
Yeah.
If they're smart, which I think they've proven that they aren't.
So who knows?
We'll see. I don't know. The issue is I don't know what they could do to fix anything.
They don't have anybody behind him.
Yeah, I mean, because they have Garrett
We have
Wilson,
Tyrod Taylor.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
They have Brees Hall. Like, where on the offense do they need to get better at outside
line.
of the quarterback?
Offensive
The line. Yeah,
Offensive line.
the O-line.
The line
Hands
is the worst
down.
fucking thing in the world. Yeah.
And their defense probably need to clean it up just a little bit.
Their
but-
defense isn't terrible, but it's that O-line. It's just trash.
They don't have as many stars as they used to on that defense. So I mean, they're mostly on reputation at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe like their secondary get a linebacker or two because they still have Sauce Gardner who's still elite level. Their defensive line is still fine.
I think they get a quarterback in the draft and they move on from Rodgers, is what I think.
Seems fair. I don't know who they're gonna fucking take, but I mean,
Which we get back into it if they're
Whole
smart.
fire sale if you're going to start from the ground up. I mean, you're going to have a brand new head coach next year, brand new GM next year. Why not get yourself a brand new quarterback and start that chemistry from the ground up?
that's
Garrett
what I would
Wilson's
do.
not going to be happy.
I mean, smart move. That would be a smart move for the Jets right there.
Well, Garrett Wilson wouldn't be happy and Devontae Adams wouldn't be happy. So.
Yeah, well, Devontae Adams has like 1 or 2 years left.
But you also can't make decisions as a GM based on the feelings of one of those players.
One player. Yeah.
Especially a dude that just barely got there. Like, you have to build from the ground up, and you can't deal with these ancillary like decorations. Like you can't listen to Devontae Adams.
I mean, you still have Braylon Allen and you still have Brees Hall, which are still two young rookie or younger running backs. Brees Hall's what, second year, and this is Jalen's. Is this year 4 for Hall?
I think this is
Uh,
now.
and then his backup is a rookie.
3.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is with the Jets next year. I think they move on and draft a quarterback in the draft and just restart that whole foundation. I mean, you're already in the process of doing it. Just do the whole thing all at once. And
I concur.
Yes. More or less, yes. All right. But we'll wrap it up here, boys. Anyone out there listening, we appreciate you guys coming in. It's always fun just to chat with you guys, have a little bit of time just to decompress and talk a little bit about our weeks and everything. We will be back still normal time next week, even with the holiday, because I will be back from New York by then. But everyone out there, like always, follow us, subscribe, comments, likes, all that shit. We always try to leave time for us so we could interact and things like that. So drop some comments. I'll put that poll up again. And everyone else out there, have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the company with family if you are going to be with family. If not, have some good food. And after that, we'll see you all next week to talk about Thanksgiving games.
for those of you in the final weeks of fantasy football, good luck on your playoff push.
Let's go.
The rest of you.